Hi, this is my character Solrak Bloodshadow, and I'm going to take you through the story and lore of Guild Wars Prophecies. This is Tyria's past. The story begins being guided to aid the defense of Ascalon. What the Ascalonians don't know is the Char have prepared a ritual to destroy what they see as trespassers in their lands. Originally what is now the nation of Ascalon stood as Char territory until the humans appeared in Tyria, and with the help of their gods, assassinated the Khan-ur, the Char leader who united the warbands from Civil War. With the Char leaderless, the humans were able to push the Char north, out of their own lands. The Khan-ur's children became imperators and created the 4 high legions: Ash, Blood, Iron, and Flame. In order to fight the humans and their gods, they looked for gods of their own, and found them at a volcano named Ragmir northeast of Ascalon. The shaman caste were the first to begin worshipping the new gods, which were actually titans, demonic creatures from the realm of torment, the region in the mist where the fallen human god Abaddon was caged. The shamans were fully aware the titans were false gods, but used them to gain control of the legions. The titans, through the direction of Abaddon, gave the Char the cauldron of cataclysm to breach the northern wall, and assault the 3 human nations of Ascalon, Or, and Kryta. The ritual caused crystals to fall from the sky and shatter the wall. This event is known as the Searing. The story picks up 2 years after the Searing in the ruins of Ascalon, and there is a Krytan ambassador offering refuge to King Adalbern and his people. The Krytans were able to defeat the Char's invasion, and Prince Rurik is open to leaving the burnt lands to the Char and save his people from more despair. Adalbern refuses the Krytans' aid because he still believes they can hold the Char at the northern wall. Rurik disagrees and is proven correct when he sees the Char gathering an army to overtake Ascalon. The Ascalonians panic, retreat, and in the chaos, the Char take prisoners. Prince Rurik decides to rescue them at the ruins of Sirmia. After rescuing his people, he finds the mouthpiece to the legendary horn, Stormcaller, that can conjure rain onto the lands. The prince returns to Rin, the Ascalonian capital, and sees the Char army burning the city. He uses Stormcaller to put out the fires and save what's left of the capital. King Adalbern, who rules from Rin, approaches Rurik, and the prince begs him again to accept the Krytan's offer for refuge. Adalbern refuses and banishes his son. We leave our homeland and head for Kryta with others who agree that there is no future in Ascalon. However, Kryta stands on the opposite side of the Shiver Peak Mountains, home of the dwarves. When we arrive, we see the dwarves are caught in the middle of a civil war between 2 factions, the Deljamor dwarves and the Stone Summit. The dwarves of Deljamor are friendly to other races. They remain neutral in the Guild Wars, while the Stone Summit are xenophobic and hate all other races, especially men. The Stone Summit dwarves also enslave the Dredge in the Sorrow's Furnace mines to do their manual labor. The refugees are granted passage by the Deljamor king, Jalis Ironhammer, but would have to travel through Boreless Pass and the Frost Gate, both held by the Stone Summit dwarves. At the Frost Gate, Prince Rurik is caught by the Stone Summit leader Dagnar Stoneplate and killed, but this allows time for the rest of the refugees to escape into Kryta. When we arrive into Kryta, we see its lands overrun with undead, led by the Lich Lord. After helping Justicar Hablion of the White Mantle, the order that rules Kryta, from a wave of undead, he allows us passage into the Krytan capital of Lion's Arch. He also asks for aid in defeating the undead in Kryta's lands. In the Delesio seaboard, Confessor Dorian, the leader of the White Mantle, is trying to secure the Scepter of War from the undead. After saving the Confessor and securing the Scepter, we are enrolled into the ranks of the White Mantle and tasked in performing the test of the Chosen, to find the Chosen in Divinity Coast. We head to Shaymore and follow the road to administer the test by using the Eye of Janthier, which sees who has the gift of true sight and lead those it finds to become scholars in the White Mantle. After the Chosen are led to their destination, we find out that they are kidnapped by a rebel group called the Shining Blade. The White Mantle asks us to pursue the Chosen into the Maguma jungle and bring them back, as well as inflicting justice upon the Shining Blade. Once we caught up with them, we find that they are actually trying to save the Chosen from the White Mantle. For proof, we set out to Bloodstone Fen to find out what the White Mantle is actually doing. We find out the Mantle murder the Chosen to serve their gods, the Unseen Ones. We then confront and kill Justicar Hablion. The death of Hablion causes the Mantle to send out a massive force to kill the Shining Blade and us. However, there seems to be a traitor amongst the Shining Blade because the mantle seems to know exactly where we are. Meanwhile, the Shining Blade leader Evenia found a portal into the Henge of Denravi and asked us to open it in Aurora Glade. The Shining Blade wants to use the Henge as a fortified base of attack. From this newly acquired base, Evenia asked us to find an ally named Vizier Kilbron, the only known survivor of the fallen nation of Or. In exchange for his aid, we will reacquire the Scepter of Or from the White Mantle in Riverside Province. We acquire the scepter from an undercover agent, but while delivering the scepter to Kilbron in Sanctum K, we found out the traitor's name, Marcus. He gave up the location of the Shining Blade and scattered the rebels. Instead of blindly charging to our deaths to avenge the Shining Blade, Kilbron suggests to head to the Crystal Desert to achieve ascension, where we will gain the attention and blessing of the gods of Tyria. Only through ascension will we be strong enough to face the White Mantle's gods, the Unseen Ones. The ghost of Turai Osa, the Elonian savior that died in the desert hundreds of years ago, leads us through the trials. After completing all 3 tasks and the final test of facing our doppelganger, we are sent to the Dragon's Lair to see the Dragon Prophet Glint. She tells us of the Flameseeker Prophecies, which describes recent events, as well as the identity of the Unseen Ones. They are a powerful spellcaster race known as the Mersat. The Mersat have the ability to hide themselves from anyone who doesn't have the gift of true sight. The Mersat were discovered by the Crichton exile named Saul de Alessio at the end of the Guild Wars, when the Char invaded the human nations. Saul was on the brink of death when he found the Mersat. He saw them as gods, and they saved him so he could spread the word of their powers as the Unseen Ones. He created the White Mantle as the followers of these gods. The White Mantle rose to power during the war with the Char. The Mantle's elite, including de Alessio, went on a suicide mission to assassinate the Char leaders. They succeeded in their mission, but the Char forces overran them. Then 3 Mersat aided the Mantle and obliterated the Char with their magic. Once the Char were defeated, the Mersat turned on the White Mantle and killed most of them. Only 3 were spared, Dorian, Hablion, and Thomas, whom the Mersat saw as the most loyal. They told the Crichtons of their victory and secured their power over the nation of Pryda. Glint then returned us to the southern Shiver Peaks to rescue Evenia from the Ice Caves of Sorrow. Here we discovered the ability that decimated the Char, Spectral Agony. After rescuing Evenia and escaping the Mersat on a Deljamor boat, she and the dwarves tell us to seek the aid from a seer in the iron mines of Molydune to help with infusing our armor to protect against the Mersat attacks. The seers are a powerful ancient race that is at war with the Mersat. Although they found a way to protect themselves against the Mersat, they were still defeated. Now, only a few remain. After the seer infused our armor, we find the traitor Marcus and kill him, as well as the Mersat protecting him. Soon afterwards, we find the Deljamor dwarves need assistance at their capital, Thunderhead Keep, because it has fallen to the stone summit, and at the same time, the White Mantle and Mersat have begun to lay siege upon the keep. King Jealous Ironhammer joins us to retake his capital and in the process kill Confessor Dorian, causing the Mantle to retreat. Vizier Kilbron reappears and tells us to go to the volcanic Ring of Fire Islands to take the fight to the Mersat and release the weapon that can destroy them. When we arrive, we see the Mersat have fortified the islands to prevent anyone from reaching the door of Komali, where the weapon is hidden. The dwarves assist us to push into the islands and to the base of the volcano, Abaddon's Mouth. We get to the door and break the seals to open it to discover we have been betrayed again. The door gives passage to the Titans from the Foundry of Failed Creations in the Realm of Torment. Using the Scepter of Or, Kilbron is able to subdue the Titans and reveals that he is the Lich Lord. The Mersat were the gatekeepers to the door of Komali, and now that they have been defeated, he has the power to rule all of Tyria with the Titans that obey his every command. At the mouth of the volcano, we were able to stop the Lich Lord, close the door of Komali, and escape before the volcano erupted, sinking the door deeper into the volcano. Later we discover Kilbron was the advisor to King Reza of Or, and is responsible for the cataclysm after reading from the Lost Scrolls once the Char breached the gates of Or. Trying to prevent the Char invasion, he read the scrolls and caused Or to sink to the bottom of the sea. It turned out that he was secretly worshipping Abaddon, and under the false god's influence, prior to the cataclysm. Those were the Flameseeker Prophecies, and next I will show you the events and lore of Guild Wars Eye of the North.